Cleveland Browns. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APWSPORTS signing in, and welcome back to another Chicago Bears preview. The Bears are coming off of back-to-back wins, and they are traveling to face the Cleveland Browns on the road. But it is a lot to get into with this ball game. Both teams coming off of wins. Bears back-to-back. The Browns are coming off a win against the Jaguars. So let's talk about both teams, and let's see how we're going to end up Sunday, in my opinion. Without further ado, let's dive into it. First, we're going to talk about the Bears offense going up against the Jim Schwartz-led Cleveland Browns defense, led by Myles Garrett, who is a potential DPOY candidate. I think he might be the front runner, in my opinion, for Defensive Player of the Year, the way he's been playing football. And you're going up against the Bears offensive line, who did a solid job. It wasn't great, but they did a solid job of protection last week, but they haven't faced an animal or a beastly like pass rusher and game record, game changer like a guy like Myles Garrett can be. And I will be honest, he's personally one of my favorite defenders to watch, the way he affects the football game. So Myles Garrett is going to be a tough deal for this Bears offensive line, whether it's Braxton Jones, young left tackle, Darnell Wright, young right tackle. They line Myles Garrett up all over the football field. And let's not forget, Darius Smith is a very good player in his own right. Dalvin Tomlinson in the east side of this 4-3 Browns defense, who is one of the top defenses in the NFL. Now, you do have one of the best corners in the game from The Ohio State University, Denzel Ward, who is questionable for this ball game. Juan Thorhill is questionable for this ball game. And the Bears have their own issues, wide receiver with injuries. DJ Moore, big star receiver, questionable for this ball game, dealing with an ankle injury. And Equanimeous St. Brown is still dealing with injury. So the thing for the Bears, I think, is to come out and run the football at least a lot more than what they did or what I expected them to last week. As the Bears come into this game, ranked 20th for points, scoring 20.8. And the Browns defense is middle of the pack of points against with 20.9. But I just believe that this Browns defense can do a lot of different things, led by Jim Schwartz, who has been one of the more better defensive minds that we have in the NFL. And Foreman and Khalil Herbert, I really want them to be more of a factor in this ball game to help slow down some of the blitz packages and the pass rush packages that Jim Schwartz likes to bring to get after the quarterback. And Justin Fields' legs, i.e. like they were last week, are going to have to be an effective part of this Bears game, along with getting Kmet involved in the tight end position, something that can get some hole or cover the holes that the Browns leave on their blitzes. So I think Kmet is going to be a big factor in a ball game like this, especially as that check down, that hot read. Sometimes when the Browns like to send some of those guys like a Wusu Karamoa, who I think is a very good player. So at the end of the day, I just really totally believe that this Browns team can get after the Bears. And I do believe the running game for the Chicago Bears has to be a factor. And of course, Justin Fields throwing the football, who had a very good day throwing the football against the Lions last week. So if Denzel Ward or Juan Thorhill do not play for them, and it's going to be a huge deal for the Browns defense, who can give up some points from time to time. It's still a very stout unit, but I think once you start to expose some of those injuries in the secondary that they have with Ward and Thornhill, I believe that this Bears defense can attack if a guy like DJ Moore is healthy and a guy like Darnell Mooney is effective and Kmet has some effectiveness to his ball game in this particular game. Now we're going to talk about this Browns offense against this Bears defense. The Browns have a ton of injuries at the running back position, whether you're talking about Ford being hurt, questionable, Kareem Hunt being questionable, even the third string Pierre Strong Jr. is questionable for this ball game. The Browns are a team that really likes to run the football, whether it's Hunt, whether it's Ford. They are very effective as far as running the football with one of the better offensive lines, led by Joe Batonio and Ethan Pochik, who is questionable for this ball game as well at the center position, and Wyatt Teller. Now the Bears, they only have one significant injury, well two. It sucks that Yannick Ngakoue is going to be out for the rest of the year with a broken ankle, who I really think we're starting to get some better work with Montez Sweat in the lineup. It sucks. And we have Jaquan Brisker, who's questionable dealing with the groin injury, but it may look like he could be a go. We're going to have to see. But at the end of the day, the Bears are coming off one of their better ball games of the year. I think the best game that the Bears have played. Now, the Bears' run defense is second in the league, and the Browns like to run the football. I just believe that if the Bears defensively are able to control the one, even though Joe Flacco hasn't playing, he's been playing some really solid football ever since being named the starter for the Browns. With Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore at the wide receiver position, David Njoku, who has been a big factor, a big target for them. So I think the Bears, with the things that they like to do, they like to come after the quarterback. They like to get in good coverages, and Edwards and Edmunds have been playing some really good football. Sanborn made some days last week. So at the end of the day, I just believe that this Bears defense are going to have to get pressure on Flacco. Flacco has been a good player for them over the past couple of weeks. I'm not going to lie. He's been helping them win and keeps it a successful or a sustainable offense. It's just Montez Sweat effect is going to be key in the ball game like this, whether his commanding double teams, freeing up Justin Jones and Billings and Dexter, Pickens and Walker. It's just the fact of Montez Sweat availability and his presence frees up so much for this Bears defense and what they like to do. And this Bears defense has been playing so much better since Montez Sweat has been in the lineup. And the Browns are a typical offense that they've been inconsistent, even though the quarterbacks has been in and out of the lineup, whether it's been Thompson Robinson, whether it's P.J. Walker, Deshaun Watson, Flacco. It's been a lot of turmoil at that quarterback position for the Cleveland Browns. And in a game like this, going up against the better and improving defense of Matt Eberflus and the Chicago Bears, and depending on Brisker's injury, I think the Browns are going to be a team in this ball game that's going to look to throw the football just a little bit more, especially since the Bears' pass defense, even though they got interceptions last week, has not been the best all season. I think the Browns and what they're going to do with Stefanski and that offense, I think they're going to try to throw the football just a little bit more on this Chicago Bears defense that has had a bit of struggles with that, even though Jalen Johnson has been playing some really good football over the last few weeks, getting some interceptions, getting tipped balls. I think they're going to try to throw the football just a little bit more in this ball game. But with all that said, my pick is going to be, I am going to take the Chicago Bears on the road in an upset of 20-17. Now, Joe Flacco has been playing some really good football, but I don't think he's played a run defense that can really get after you in the running game like the Bears have in the last couple of weeks, and they've been improving and improving. And I believe that Fields in this offense, especially with the secondary, a little bit banged up for the Cleveland Browns. Even though Myles Garrett, I think, is going to be an X factor in this ball game for the Browns, and whether the Browns can actually win the game or not, I just personally believe that the Bears are going to try to run the football a little bit more with their backs than they did last week against the Lions. And I personally think Justin Fields is going to have a really solid day throwing the football. So I think the Bears offensively are going to make enough plays, and I think the Joe Flacco magic probably runs out in a ball game like this. So I'm picking the Bears on the road in the upset 20-17 to get the win on the road and get their 3rd straight victory. But those are my thoughts. Make sure you guys leave this video a like. Comment your thoughts on the Bears game down below, and subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great, excellent day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.